When my mom and dad first launched WinShape Camps back in 1986, I remember my mom said to my dad, I feel like I'm standing on holy ground in this place. So their goal always was to honor God through the camp life. We were really full where we were at WinShape Camps for Girls at Mount Berry, so we were at capacity. We wanted to continue to grow, but we just couldn't do it there on that particular place. So we began to dream about the possibilities. Could we ever launch a camp somewhere else? So we ended up in North Georgia, and I got a call from Bob Skelton, who was our first director for WinShape Foundation that my mom and dad had hired. And he said, Trudy and John, while you're up there in that area, you ought to drive by Young Harris. I remember the day we drove in, we parked the car, and we thought, oh, this is a nice little campus. It was spread out, and yet it was close enough to where we felt like these little girls won't be afraid to be on a college campus because it's really not that big. But if you look up this way, you see these beautiful mountains all around you and thought, man, this is just such a beautiful setting. It just kind of felt like going home. It just felt comfortable. So I think one of the first things I had to do was rally a team. I think there were people like Lauren Bennett, Mary Ann Roundtree, that were some of the first ones that I talked to about, could you help me brainstorm? What could this camp look like? And then the ideas just began to come. We said, well, we just have one building to operate in to launch the camp. We said, let's call it a clubhouse. And let's create different clubs that the girls can be a part of. That sounded like fun for girls. We named them just some really unusual names like Bumbleline, Scotian, Royalum. Those became our clubs for the girls. And then rather than it being a specific age, we had a variety of ages in each one of the clubs. So we almost created a big sister, little sister kind of thing. I grew up going to camp as a little girl, and I remember looking up to my counselors and leadership, and I just watched what they did, and I tried to emulate who they were. And that was the challenge that we gave always to our summer staff and our leadership team. We said, look, you got to model it for these girls.
We actually got to speak to a lot of those staff members. Mm-hmm. We actually would love to show you if you would allow us to. So I'm going to press play.
Trudy, thank you so much for modeling what a true servant leader is. Every day that I get to lead and develop a team, I think about you.
Thank you, Trudy, for believing in me. Thank you for giving me a chance.
Thank you so much for pausing and investing in me, being a good role model so that I can invest in others.
Thank you so much for seeing me and investing in me and developing me and trusting me to be here and to lead this new place. I think about how you and John poured into Caleb and me when we were really young and what we were able to see and learn from your marriage, and how you guys poured into us has formed a foundation for us that will last the rest of our lifetimes.
There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about you or hope that I can be a leader like you were for all of us.
Because of you, I continue to be a faithful, intentional, teachable servant.
Thank you for making this place something special where girls get to come and hear the gospel and have fun, life-changing memories every summer.
Having this camp here just for the girls has just been life-changing in my family.
Thank you, Miss Cathy, for doing what you did. Thank you for making this camp so special, because without you, I wouldn't be the person that I am today.
This place is such a replica of your investment in young girls and college-age girls, and just seeing that continue for years and years and how it has spread is remarkable, and I am so grateful that you invested in me and I get to carry you on to other people.
I would say thank you to them, or her or his. I don't know who exactly invented younger.
Y'all, that's not fair. Wasn't expecting that at all.
Like, how did that make you feel?
I'm just grateful. When I was a little girl going off to camp, I'll never forget the impact that it made on my life. So when I got the call to come and be the director for WinShape Camps for Girls, I thought, I do not know how to do this. I am not prepared for it at all. But what I did know, I knew what the difference it made in this little girl's life. And I thought, Lord, if you want to use me to make a difference in another little girl's life, I would be willing to step up and do that. In April, before we were launching the camp in the summertime, I remember I went down to a place on campus, a little stream there, and I reached over and I picked up a rock. In fact, it happens to be this rock because I've kept up with it all this time. And I washed it off and I went back to where I was staying, and I just spent some time with the Lord and asking Him to help me really understand what needed to happen this summer. And I wrote this verse, a reference here on the rock, and it's 1 Samuel 1:27. Hannah said, I asked the Lord to give me this boy, and He granted my request. Now I'm going to give him back to the Lord, and he will belong to the Lord his whole life. And there was something about reading that clicked to me, and I thought, that's what this belongs to the Lord. So I grabbed up this rock and I wrote that on here, this belongs to the Lord. This camp belongs to the Lord. It's dated April the 7th, 2011. And I said, Lord, whatever, I want you to know that I know that we've used human hands and minds to create camp, but it's up to you and it belongs to you. And I always wanted the camp to be very honoring to the Lord. I'm so proud that God's been so faithful to allow us to be able to do what we've done to impact the lives of so many boys and girls, to see the goodness of God, to allow us to be able to open up a brand new location, which really gave us the confidence to do that in even some more places as WinShape Camps has grown through the years. So God's faithfulness has been so evident in the growth of camp. There were a lot of long hours, there were a lot of tears, there were a lot of happy moments that I wouldn't trade for anything. I have been deeply blessed by the relationships that God put in my path over the course of the time at WinShape Camps for Girls at Young Harris. I'm so grateful.